If George Carlin were alive today, it's almost certain that his sharp, irreverent, and often controversial humor would have plenty to say about the current state of the world. Known for his biting commentary on politics, society, and human nature, Carlin would likely address the state of the world with his characteristic mix of cynicism, wit, and biting truth. Here's how he might approach the major issues of today. 1. Political corruption and corporate influence. Carlin was always quick to criticize political elites and the corrupt relationship between government and big corporations. He'd probably unleash a tirade against the deepening ties between politicians and the corporations pulling the strings. What he might say: "You think you're living in a democracy? No, this is a corporatocracy. Politicians aren't working for you, they're working for the corporations that own them. You think they care about your vote? Hell no. They care about the campaign contributions from the oil, pharma, and weapons industries. That's the real election. The rest of it is just entertainment." The only difference between a politician and a used car salesman is the used car salesman will at least give you a warranty. 2. Climate change and environmental destruction. Carlin, a frequent critic of humanity's disregard for the planet, would likely be furious about the ongoing environmental destruction and the failure of governments and corporations to take meaningful action on climate change. What he might say: "So, we've destroyed the planet. Big surprise, right? We've been shitting in the nest for centuries. We burn fossil fuels, destroy forests, poison rivers, and we act like it's normal. You know what the Earth is gonna do when we're gone? Nothing. It's gonna go on without us. We're a fucking inconvenience to the planet. Earth will reset. It'll thrive again, and it'll laugh its ass off at how we thought we could control it. We're just here for a moment, folks." 3. The age of misinformation and social media. Carlin had a strong disdain for the media and how it was manipulated, so it's safe to say that he would be extremely critical of social media, the spread of misinformation, and the manipulation of public opinion. What he might say: "Welcome to the age of idiocy. We're living in a world where anyone with a smartphone thinks they're a journalist. Every moron with an opinion has a platform now. I mean, who the hell are we listening to? A guy with a podcast or the President of the United States? Doesn't matter. They both lie, they both have an agenda, and they both think they know what's best for you. The only difference is one of them gets to send drones to kill people in other countries, while the other sells you discount vitamins on Instagram." 4. The illusion of choice and consumerism. Carlin was a staunch critic of the consumer-driven, choice society we live in, and he would likely hammer home the point that despite all the options available to us, we're still slaves to the system. What he might say: "You got choices, right? Yeah, sure you do. You've got tons of choices. You can buy Coke or Pepsi, but you're still buying sugar water with a side of toxic chemicals. You can vote for the Democrat or the Republican, but guess what? You're still voting for someone who will keep the war machine rolling, the prisons full, and the rich richer. Real choice. Ha! You've been bamboozled, my friend. It's all a big con." 5. The war on truth and the rise of authoritarianism. With the rise of populist movements and increasing authoritarian rhetoric in many countries, Carlin would probably focus on how people are being manipulated into accepting a narrative that's convenient for the powerful elite. What he might say: "People don't care about the truth anymore, they just want to feel good. It's easier to believe a lie that makes you feel better than face the uncomfortable reality. And the government? The government's happy to oblige. They'll tell you whatever you want to hear. You want to believe in a big, bad enemy? Fine, they've got that for you. You want to feel like you're special? Sure, they'll sell you that too. It doesn't matter. They control the narrative, and they've got your ass in a headlock. Welcome to modern democracy where reality is whatever the fuck they say it is." 6. The Great Divide and social inequality. Carlin would no doubt comment on the growing wealth gap, the rise of inequality, and the growing divide between the rich and the poor. What he might say: "Look around, folks. The divide is wider than ever. The rich get richer, and the poor, they stay poor. You're not middle class, you're lower class. Hell, even the term middle class is a scam. They just put you in the middle so you don't get too angry about the fact that you're never gonna make it to the top. The 1% has more money than you could spend in a lifetime, and they don't even care about you. They're up there, sipping martinis, while you're down here wondering if you'll have enough for rent next month. But hey, keep shopping at Walmart. That'll solve everything, right? 7. Cancel culture and the outrage economy. Carlin, a master of pushing boundaries, would likely have a field day with cancel culture and the constant moral outrage online. What he might say: what is this cancel culture bullshit? What happened to people having a sense of humor? What happened to the idea that we could say things that make us uncomfortable and talk about them? Now, everything's offensive. Oh, I don't like that tweet. I'm going to cancel that person. This whole outrage economy is a scam. Everyone's too busy being offended to notice that the rich are still robbing us blind. You wanna get outraged? Get outraged about how your government's screwing you, not how someone said a bad word on Twitter. 8. The hypocrisy of patriotism. Finally, Carlin would likely take aim at the hypocrisy of nationalistic fervor and blind patriotism that many people cling to. What he might say: patriotism. The most overused word in the English language. I love my country. Yeah, sure you do. But you only love it when it serves your interests, right? You love it when you get to wave a flag and ignore all the shit your country is doing overseas, or the fact that people in your own country can't even get health care. You love it when you can complain about the government, but then send troops to fight wars in foreign lands for resources. That's patriotism for you. It's not about the people, it's about the system. Conclusion: if George Carlin were alive today, he would undoubtedly still be a force of nature, a relentless truth-teller, poking fun at the absurdity of the world and exposing the uncomfortable realities we all live in. His approach would be unflinching, hilarious, and razor-sharp as he dissected the state of modern politics, social issues, and human nature with the same biting humor that made him a legend. In short, George Carlin would remind us that the world may be broken, but it's our inability to see the truth through humor, self-awareness, and critical thought that is perhaps the greatest tragedy of all.